You showed up, you smiled, you acted how you were supposed to act, you delivered the presentation, you made the dinner, you answered the emails, you got the kids to school on time. So from the outside, you're fine, functional, maybe you even thriving, but on the inside, you're barely breathing, and nobody notices, nobody knows. Because you've gotten so good at showing up empty that even you can't tell the difference anymore between functioning and actually living. This is 15 Minutes with me. I'm Belkis Clarke, and today we're talking about the depression that doesn't look like depression to anyone but you. The alarm is screaming. Eyes snap open like a doll's when you're tilted forward. Mechanical, automatic, no waking involved. Just lids lifting because that's what lids do when the sound hit. Feet touch the floor. Cold. You don't register cold. Just touch and stand. Because standing is what comes after the alarm, after the eyes, after feet. The body knows the sequence even when nobody home is there to direct it. The coffee is brewing. Hand reach for cup. Pour. Sip. Taste nothing. Not bitter. Not hot. Just liquid entering mouth because morning requires coffee and I require morning to continue looking like a person who is still participating in her own life. Shower running. Water hitting skin. Soap. Rinse. Towel. The motions are smooth, practiced, perfect, like watching someone else do them through glass. Accurate with distance correct but not connected to the woman standing under the water who can't remember when showers stopped feeling like anything and started feeling like another task to complete before leaving the house. Face in the mirror. Makeup going on in the right order. Foundation, concealer, mascara, lips. Painting expressions onto a canvas that forgot how to generate its own, not covering anything, constructing something, building the version people expect to see when they look at a woman who's got it together, even though together just means the outside is holding shape, while the inside has been scooped out and replaced with the choreography of appearing functional, when functional is all that's left. Drive to work. Hands on wheel, eyes on road, brain nowhere. Not thinking about driving, not thinking about anything, just piloting the car from point A to point B, while the path that is supposed to be driving has been absent so long that nobody has learned to do it alone. Park, walk, enter building, smile at receptionist. The smile is automatic, triggered by eye contact like a reflex. Muscles pulling face into a shape of pleasant without consulting anything inside about whether pleasant is happening or just the face doing what faces are trained to do in professional settings. Sitting. Someone talking. My head nodding. Wait, did I decide to nod? Or did my head just follow when the others move? Laughter rippling around the table, my mouth opening, sound coming out, laugh shaped, appropriate, volume, time right. But I didn't feel the funny, didn't choose the laugh. Just heard the cue and the body responded automatic, like trained animals, like reflex, like the face knows the script even when nobody's inside reading it. Mouth open again. Words falling out. Coherent. Appropriate. On brand for the woman they think is sitting here. Hear them land, recognize them as a mine only because no one else is claiming them, but don't remember forming them. Don't remember deciding to speak. Just sound exiting my mouth and everyone is nodding like I said something, and me wondering if I did or if they are just trained to respond to noise shaped like contribution. Not sad. Sad would register. Sad would land somewhere. This is pushing through the day like wading through water when everyone else is walking easy on dry ground. Every step is taking effort against resistance that isn't visible. Air is feeling thick around me, heavy, like moving through substance that slows everything down while the world keeps moving at regular speed. And I'm just delayed, dragging one beat behind the rhythm everyone else is moving to without trying. The way doesn't show. They're seeing deadlines met, emails answered, my name on the presentation they're calling excellent. I can't seem to they can see that typing each email cost me something I can't name. That standing to deliver that presentation required energy I had to borrow from tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow until I'm so far in debt to the future versions of myself, I can't imagine a version that has still got reserves left to lend to me. 5 o'clock, keys in hand. Engine starting, driving, pulling into driveway, engine off, keys still in hand. House right there, door right there, life right there. Sitting, staring, can't make my hand reach for the door handle. Not avoiding, just stuck between the car and the house. Between leaving work and entering home, suspended in the only moment all day where nobody is expecting anything, and my body is refusing to move toward the next performance, like it knows something I don't know about. How much is left? The house, right there. The door, right there. The life, right there. I can't make myself go in yet. Can't make myself want to go in. Just sitting, engine off, keys in hands, trying to locate the feeling that used to arrive here. Relief, home, want, finding, just the next thing to do once I walk through that door. And nobody inside is going to notice I'm not really there because I have not been really there so long. They think this version is the real one. Inside the house now. Say the right things to the right people. Make the dinner. Do the dishes. Answer the questions. The face responsive. The voice warm. The body present in the room. While whatever is supposed to be inside the body has been missing and nobody is asking where it went because the replacement is passing inspection. Night. Finally. Performance off. Lying in the dark. This is the only time that feels real. The emptiness, the nothing, the absence of everything that is supposed to make life feel like living instead of just a series of tasks completed before starting again tomorrow from the same hollow. Not diagnosed because I am still functional. Not treated because I'm still productive. Not seen because I have trained my outside to compensate for my inside. And now my outside is so convincing. Even I can't recall sometime if there's anyone left underneath. Or if I have just gotten so good at pretending to be here that pretending is all that remains. That's you. On some days, sitting in your car in the parking lot before going into the office, going into your home, trying to remember if you always felt this numb or if this is something new. Because high functioning depression doesn't announce itself actually. It just slowly replaces everything you used to feel with the ability to keep going anyway. So let me tell you what high functioning depression actually is. It's not the depression you see in the movies. It's not the crying in bed. It's not the unable to work. It's not the visibly falling apart and the very, very, very sadness that you obviously can see. High functioning depression is when you meet every external marker for success. You show up, you perform, you deliver, but internally you're completely hollow. Now, what does this really look like? It looks like you going to work, you're doing your job well, you're smiling in the meetings, but when you get home, you can't do anything that isn't required. You can't read the book you used to love. You can't call the friend you've been meaning to call. You can't even decide what to eat because decision making feels impossible when nothing sounds good anyway. No, you're not incapable. You're just empty. And the emptiness doesn't interfere with your ability to function. It just makes functioning the only thing you can do. Now, why is it so hard to recognize? You see, the problem with high functioning depression is that it doesn't look like a problem to anyone else. You're not missing work. You're not crying all the time. You're not falling apart. So when people ask, how are you? You say, I'm fine. And they believe you because the evidence supports it. You are fine. By every external measure, you're doing great. But fine and okay and functional and not the same as alive. And the thing is, you haven't felt alive in so long you forgot there was supposed to be something more than just getting through the day. What causes it? You see, high functioning depression often shows up in high achieving people. People who learned early that their worth is tied to their productivity. People who were rewarded for performing even when they were struggling. People who got praise for holding it together when everything was falling apart. So you learned. You learned not to break visibly. You don't need publicly, and you don't stop producing. And that training is so effective that even when you're depressed, you don't stop. You just keep going, empty, but operational. Here is a double bind. This is a trap. Because you're still functioning, people don't take it seriously. You can't be depressed because you're doing well, so well. And they say you just need a vacation. And they tell you, have you tried exercising more? Yep, those are what they tell you. So it's as if the problem is that you're not trying hard enough to feel better, when the real problem is you've been trying so hard to keep functioning that you stop noticing that you're not actually living. So here's the truth that a lot of the times we don't recognize. Some people tell me when they're ready to finally admit it, they say, I can't do my job. I can do my job perfectly. I just can't feel anything while I'm doing it. They say I'm exhausted by existing, not by working, by existing. I've been told by persons, I don't want to die. I just don't want to be alive like this. And then I've been also told, I can't remember the last time I wanted something instead of just doing what I'm supposed to do. And I remember someone said to me, I'm terrified that if I stop performing, if I stop acting, stop showing up, stop doing, I'll disappear completely. But here's something that you need to hear. That's not weakness. That's not failure. That's what happens when you spend years conditioning yourself to show up no matter what's happening inside. Because there's a system at work here. High functioning depression thrives in systems that value productivity over personhood. Systems that reward you for showing up when you're depleted. Systems that praise you for never needing anything from anyone. Systems that promise you, that promote you for sacrificing yourself and not complaining. But here's the cruelest part of all this. The system needs you to stay functional. Because if you break visibly, the system has to respond. But if you keep going hollow, empty, numb, the system gets to keep taking from you without ever acknowledging that it cost you something. So you stay functional and you call it fine. And the depression just becomes the background state you operate from. So what do you do when you're functional but not alive? Now, I'm not going to say exercise more. Exercise is good. Or practice gratitude. That's good too. Or think positive thoughts. Those are excellent. Those things might help, but they're not the answer to a depression that is rooted in the fact that you've been performing for so long you forgot there was supposed to be something underneath the performance. So here's what you need to know. High functioning depression is still depression. Just because you can show up doesn't mean you should have to keep showing up while you're collapsing inside. So here's what I'm asking you to do this week. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm asking you to notice something. Notice the gap between what you're doing and what you're feeling. Notice the moments when you perform fine, but you don't feel fine. Notice how often you choose to function and act over actually feeling. Because high functioning depression stays hidden as long as you keep performing. And the first step to addressing it isn't fixing it, it's seeing it. This is 15 Minutes with B. I am Belkis Clarke Mitchum. You're not fine, you're functional. And there's a difference.